Yeah. So good morning, everyone. So welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my training on performance testing and engineering. So we are starting a new batch, new daily batch from today, 19th November, right? So timings not yet decided. Like once the timings are decided, we'll go with the majority people convenient time. So timings not yet decided. Once the timings are decided, I will I'll post it in my YouTube channel, right? So if you haven't subscribed to my channel, as I explained just now, like please go to YouTube and search for performance testing real-time training. And this is my, here you can see my YouTube channel and my name and contact number. It should be in the description or something somewhere, right? So if you haven't subscribed, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yeah. So in this demo session, like I will be explaining, what are the course contents and, like who are, for whom the training is ideal, right? Who all can join the training. Let me go to the agenda quickly, right? I'll give a brief introduction about myself and unique features of my training plan and course duration. And I'll explain what is performance testing, types of performance testing, and who all are ideal participants, right? So I'll explain, like I will go with this agenda, whatever I have mentioned here. So if you want some idea on careers in software testing, I have already made a video in and uploaded to my YouTube channel, right? So if you want to, I already shared that, that link is available in my message, in my training message. If you didn't go through, right? So let me share it. It is available in my channel, careers in software testing. Okay. So let me show you. Okay, I didn't get my link. Okay, hold on 1 second. Yeah. So this is my video on careers in software testing. So here I explained what are the different major careers in software testing, and what would be the duration and all of each course for functional testing, automation, and performance, and why performance testing is easy, right? Compared to automation testing, and what are the career prospects of performance testing. I explained in this session, guys, right? Software testing careers demo session. So let me share this link and share this link to you. So if you haven't seen that, please go through that once. I'm sharing it in the Zoom chat. You can copy that link, those who are interested, guys. Otherwise, it will be there in my WhatsApp message as well. The link will be there in my WhatsApp message as well. So here I explained what are the different major careers in software testing, and which career requires coding skills and which doesn't require programming skills and all. I try to address all the important queries that you may be having. So please go through that particular recorded session on my YouTube channel, right? And now coming to today's agenda. So I'll give a brief introduction about myself and unique features of the training plan and course duration. What is performance testing? What are different types of performance testing? And who all are ideal participants for whom is this training suitable, and are this performance testing is suitable, and what are the career prospects and compensation for performance testing. Like performance testing means I will explain like what are the average packages in service based and product based companies, and what are the different digital platforms I am leveraging for training, and course contents for beginners and advanced level participants, and scripting scenarios to cover in the training. I will be going through all these one by one, days, right? So I'll start with introduction about myself, right? I am an MCA graduate and I have like 15 plus years of experience in IT on till date, right? And I have like 13 plus years experience in performance testing and engineering. So I started my career with Applabs Technologies. So if you heard Applabs Technologies, like it was established by someone from Andhra, Sesireddy. His name is Sesireddy. He's from Nellore. I believe he's from Nellore district. Yes, and and like it was established by our one Andhra guy called Sesridi sir. So it's the world's first largest independent software testing company, guys, right? So it evolved as world's first largest independent software testing company, right? So I'm fortunate that I started my career with Applabs Technologies, and I worked on all major tools like LoadRunner, WebLoad, SillPerformer, and in retail, healthcare, banking, and finance domains, right? So I got chance to work on these, all these 4 domains in while I was with Applabs, right? Next, I worked for Tech Mahindra. That this was my second company. So in Tech Mahindra, another service-based company, right? Applabs is also a service-based company. So next, my next organization was Tech Mahindra. It is again a service-based company. So there I got chance to work on multiple protocols, right? We'll discuss what is meant by a protocol and all in the coming up sessions. So I got a chance to work on multiple load runner protocols like TrueClient, Java vUser, Citrix, ComDcom, Oracle NCA, Oracle 2-tier, Oracle Web Apps 11.9, right? And my like after 10 years I worked for I joined Bank of America. This is a product-based company, if you know. So it is called as BA Quantinum India Private Limited. Here it's called as BA Quantinum India Private Limited, which is a sister concern company for Bank of America. Means all the software and all the software development and testing which were for Bank of America will be done in this BA Quantinum India Private Limited. Got it, guys? Bank of America is a financial services company, and BA Quantinum is the organization which does software and development and testing for Bank of America. Clear, guys? BA Quantinum India Private Limited. So that was my third organization. All right. So it has one of the of its offices in Hyderabad. So there I got chance to I got exposure to banking domain and expertise in JMeter, Jenkins, Splunk, Introscope, multiple tools. I got chance to work on multiple tools like JMeter, Jenkins, Splunk, Introscope, Dynatrace, WebLogic Console, OEM, AppWatch, capacity planning test, apart from the regular load and soak test, right? And I completed my certification in Splunk and Dynatrace while I was working for Bank of America. And JMeter certification, I have done it last year or so. I think it's in 2020, right? So this is my third organization, and fourth organization is InnoMinds. InnoMinds is one of the top 10 dream companies to work for, and it is one of it got a National Best Employer Award in 2018 as well as multiple times. InnoMinds got this award multiple times, right? The last I think the last year in which this got is like National Best Employer Award is in 2018, right? And from InnoMinds, like I joined SAP Labs. So most of you may be knowing this, right? It's a reputed ERP product-based organization. So I worked as a principal performance engineer. After SAP, I worked for another product-based company called State Street. Okay. So product-based company, State Street is another financial product-based company, financial services product-based company, right? So, so this is briefly about me, guys, right? So I worked for both service-based and product-based companies. You should know what is the difference between service-based and product-based companies, guys, right? So service-based companies means they provide their IT services to some other companies, some other applications of some other companies, right? Whereas product-based companies means they will be developing or they will be testing their own applications. For example, SAP. So they will develop their own application and they will test their own applications. SAP Labs, right? So this is a product-based company. Bank of America or BA Quantinum is also a product-based company, right? And also State Street is also a product-based company. So basically they will develop their own products and they will test their own products. They won't test, they won't develop, they won't develop any applications for other companies and they won't test for other companies. So such type of companies are called product-based companies. Clear, guys? Guys, are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Right? Yes, sir, so this is about me, and this The next agenda point is like, what are the features of my training? So let me go to the presentation mode. Sorry. So coming to this training, right? So every day, like, it will be a daily batch, right? So every day we'll be spending the first 5 to 10 minutes on aptitude questions and our table topics. We'll do this alternatively. So one day we will do aptitude. I'll explain some aptitude questions. I will ask and explain some aptitude questions. And the next day we will be discussing some table topics. Means we will take some current topic and, like, the participants, you have to speak on it for a minute, right? For a minute or two, right? So we will be doing this for the first 10 minutes. Let me correct it, 5 minutes won't be sufficient for this. Like, let me modify it. Yeah. For the first 10 minutes, I will be taking up this, this daily aptitude or table topics, right? So the reason why I introduced this is to accommodate the late joiners first thing, right? So some people will be joining late, right? So I want to accommodate those late joiners as well as, so, like, to improve your soft skills or communication skills. But for this table topic is for make everyone speak in the session, right? So some people, they may be good, they may be very good technically, but they can't express themselves. So to to make them speak, or to improve their soft skills, like, I introduced this table topics, and we'll be doing this for the first 10 minutes every day, right? On an alternate basis, right? One day aptitude and one day, next day table topics, again aptitude and then again table topic, right? And the next 10 minutes, like, we will be spending on daily assessment. So I'll be asking questions on the previous day concepts, and like, and we'll be spending for the next 5 to 10 minutes every day for daily assessment, right? The session duration will be typically 1.5 hour minimum. Session duration will be a minimum of 1.5 hour, right? So the next 50 to 60 minutes will be for theory or scripting sessions, all right? And last 10 minutes will be for Q&A session, doubt clarification, right? And I have made scripting simplified and easy to understand, so that even a non-computer guy can understand and gain command or expertise in scripting. So I made scripting simplified and like and made it easy to understand, right? And most of the scripts that I cover will be from different companies interviews, right? So some organizations like TCS, or some organization, like, in the interview process, they will ask you to do one script. They'll give you one script and they will ask you to do that. So most of the scripts that I cover will be from different companies interviews, okay? And the script, so they will cover multiple challenges. They will cover most of the scripting challenges, whatever scripts I am covering in the training. And scripting hands-on mandatory for every participant. Each one of you should work on the script and share the script to me, for my review. Okay. Yes. You can see here, right? Everyone in the batch will share the script to me like this case, right? AOS user registration script, JPEG store script, shop and checkout file. So every student in my batch shares the script to me, and I will review the script. I will download the script and I will verify them. I will verify if they are working first of all, and then I will check for scripting standards and naming conventions. Let me show you that also quickly. I will create like here you can see scripts for review, right? JMeter scripts for review. So I will create a folder with your name and I will download all the scripts, right? So here you can see this is my November 2021 morning batch, right? And this is my October 2021 evening batch. Okay, so I didn't create like some. I need to review the scripts. I created just folders for only 4 things. So here you can see I will create folder for each one of the student and I will download the script and verify, so that like. We will be at the end of the training, you will get 100% confidence on scripting and you can face any scripting test in any interview. Even if the interview has a scripting round, you will be able to face it confidently, and like they will give you half an hour to 1 hour time based on the script. So you will be able to complete that script in the given time. I think I paused it recording, right? Yeah. Yeah, I restarted recording. Yes. So got it? Yes. Everyone should upload the script. Everyone should share the script to me. So initially, you can mail the script. Later on, right? We'll be using GitHub for uploading the script, yes, right? So that you will get you will get knowledge of GitHub, how to use GitHub and all. Clear? I'll explain what is GitHub and all. Those who are new to this, testing, I will explain this GitHub, what is GitHub, and how to upload a script to GitHub. All right. Now, and so those who are interested to do certification, yes, you can attempt this. ISTQB recently introduced a last year, actually, I think in 2020 or end of 2019, ISTQB introduced a certification for performance testing. Okay, so you can attempt that ISTQB certification, but so it involves some payment. I think the fee for that is like around 8K, 8,000, right? But however, this JMeter certification is free. Blazemeter University offers free certification on JMeter. So most of the students, I encourage them to complete this JMeter certification at least. If not ISTQB, I encourage them to complete this free certification on JMeter. All right. And I will cover 3 protocols. Okay. So I'm covering extensively on web and web services. TrueClient is optional. TrueClient protocol is optional. If you have, if you have enough time, and I will cover this TrueClient protocol, that is optional. But web and web services, I will be covering with both LoadRunner and JMeter, both the tools, right? And hands-on training on scripting with real-time examples and 15 scripts given in scripting dash of various companies interviews, right? So, I will show you in the next demo session. I will show you how easy it is to create a script, right? So, because the reason why I'm explaining is some people, feel like, scripting means we need to write some code or something. No, we need not write any code from scratch. LoadRunner or JMeter tool or any performance testing tool generate the scripts. Okay, we need not write any script or we need not write any code from scratch, right? So that, however, we have to modify the script as per our requirement. We have to make some enhancements to the script based on our requirement, right? In the next demo session, I will show you that how does a script look like, how to record a script with LoadRunner and JMeter. I'll show you both in the next demo session, right? And I will be covering 5 sample applications and 2 to 4 real-time applications for scripting and test execution, so that out of these 9 applications, 7 to 9 applications, you will see or you will experience all the most of the scripting challenges that you can expect in a real-time application once you join the job, right? So that's the reason I am covering 5 different sample applications and 2 to 4 real-time applications. Minimum 2 real-time applications I will cover, right? If time permits, I will cover 3 or 4 real-time applications. So that's the reason I mentioned here 2 to 4 real-time applications. All right. So, and table topics and presentation by participants to enhance soft skills and leverage digital platforms for training, assignments, and assessments. Let me quickly show you what digital platforms I am using for training, assignments, and assessments. So Zoom, I use Zoom meeting. I don't use free tools. This is a licensed version of Zoom meeting that I'm using, right? So apart from this, to give you assignments and assessment, let me quickly show you. I'll be using Google Classroom for giving you assignments, right? Let me quickly show you that. So once you confirm you are joining, I will create a group for each one of you. For each batch, I will create a I will create a separate classroom like this. Here you can see, right? And I will be giving assignments over here, right? That will be shared to your email ID. I will be including all the participants like this, all the students like this, and I will be giving assignments like this, yes, over here, right? This is a new, of course, I know. Hold on 1 second. You got it, right? So I will be giving assignments and all over here. You can see that all the assignments I will be giving to scripting assignments and all I will be giving like this in Google Classroom. So basically, once I create a assignment, you will get an email ID. Sorry, you will get an email. You will get an email to whatever email ID that you provided me. All right. So, and for for assessments, I am using I have designed some online tests, 3 online tests. Level 1, level 2, level 3. So that I will be giving as and when required, right? And next we will be having weekly and monthly assessments. And those who are opting for placement assistance, right? So let me explain like what are the activities that we will be doing under placement assistance. First thing is resume preparation. I will be preparing a resume. Those who want to, claim some experience after the training, right? After proper training and after doing all these scripting assignments only, right? So I'll be preparing a CV for you, and I will be explaining real-time projects. So you can, you will get a chance to do scripting and test executions on real-time project, right? Here I will be covering scripting, and in placement assistance, I will be like, you will get a chance to execute test real-time project, right? And identifying the issues and fixing those bottlenecks and all, you will get a chance over here. And I will be conducting 5 mock interviews after the training, right? The first mock interview I will be taking myself. So like once you go through that first mock interview, right? So I will schedule 2 more mock interviews by guys working in service-based companies, and 2 more mock interviews by guys working for product-based companies. In fact, I will be paying for these 4 mock interviews to them. I'll be paying 500 to 1,000 rupees per interview for them, right? So that, the objective behind doing this mock interviews is, I know what I covered for you. I know what I taught you, but they don't know, right? So they will ask, they will do the interview in a regular way. I mean, how they do interviews in their organization when they get some candidate for interview, they will interview in the same way, right? So I will also be there in that mock interview, so I know to see, like, to check, like, what they are asking and how you are answering, and how so to identify the your strengths and your areas of improvement, basically. So this is the objective of mock interviews, and you should not miss any real interview opportunity. So that is the reason behind scheduling this 5 mock interviews, planning this 5 mock interviews. Clear, guys? I'll take a pause here. So any queries over here? Let me resume recording, and let me explain, who are the ideal participants. Okay. So I'll take this as a last, I'll take it up later. Okay. Right. So for whom is this training suitable, right? So any BTech or MCA or MSc computers or BCA freshers in active job search. Freshers are those who are having, career gaps, right? Freshers are, those who are having career gaps. Okay. Let me put it here. Let me keep that here. So any 2000, like 17 or 18, 17 to 2017 to 2021. Okay. Pass outs. Career gaps, or any manual testing in it, right? So if someone is working in already in functional testing, right, and if they want to switch their career to performance, right? So this course is very much suitable for them, as well as like passionate BPO or non-IT employees who want to pursue career in IT, particularly software testing here, right? So these are all the ideal participants. Okay. By the way, any degree is also fine. In the last 1 year, they are looking for only looking for 15 years of full-time education. That is the main criteria for most of the companies. All right. So many organizations are accepting any degree as a qualification. There, guys.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned here, before starting the session, right, I have one colleague, who is a BCom graduate, right? And, he was my ex-colleague in Bank of America, used to get very good package for 10 years experience. His package was around 20 lakhs, right? So any degree is fine for software testing. So for most of the companies, not every company, guys, by the way, right? Some organizations, strictly look for BTech or MCA. Again, in BTech also, they look for CSE and IT. CSE, IT mostly. Right? Some companies, few software companies. But like MNCs, like most of the MNCs accept any degree. Clear, guys? Any degree, but it should be like 15 years of full-time education, not part-time. They won't accept part-time qualification and all. Right? Distance education and all will not be entertained. They will consider only like 15 years of full-time education, most of the MNCs. Clear, guys? And like those who are having those who are having any career gaps, I mean after their highest qualification, if they like some people might be like engaged in some business, or like their own business, or like some people may be working in BPOs, right? Some non-IT jobs. So for them also it is suitable, as well as those who are working in functional testing, right? Or manual testing. So see, functional testing, if you do manually, that is called as manual testing. I hope there is no confusion there. If you do functional testing manually without any tool, that is called as manual testing. If you use some tools like automation tools like Selenium, etc., there are many other automation tools, but Selenium is the most popular tool. So if you use some automation tool like Selenium, that is called as automation testing, right? And I'll explain what is performance testing in the next couple of minutes. All right. So I think I covered this, right? And important note is most of the people like have this query, like is if programming skills is mandatory for performance testing, right? No, to enter performance test, to learn performance testing, and to enter software testing, or to enter IT, so basic programming skills enough, right? However, if you are good in any of these programming languages, or any of these technologies like Java, Python, C++, SQL, so that would be added advantage, right? That will add more weightage to your CV, and you can expect like 2 to 3 lakhs more package than others, very good package than others if you have programming skills, right? But however, basic programming skills are enough for performance testing. All right. And let me explain what are the career prospects and compensation for performance testing, because this is important, right? At the end of the day, we are interested in this. What are the career prospects? What are the career prospects and compensation for performance testing? So here I would like to explain what are the average packages in service-based and product-based companies. Okay. So I already explained like, like what is the difference between service-based and product-based company, isn't it? So for service-based companies, when I say service, can you list out some service-based companies, guys, based on your understanding what I explained, couple of minutes back? Can you list out some service-based companies? Guys, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, yes, sir. You are.
Can you list out some service-based companies?
TCS.
Yes.
HCL.
Infosys, HCL.
Wipro.
Right, Wipro, Tectum. Right. Infosys has some products also, right? So they developed some, a product for core banking, right? How many of you know that name?
Sir, it's I think it's Finacle.
Finacle, yes. Finacle is a core banking solution developed by Infosys, right? So not a complete service-based company. Infosys is not purely a pure service-based company, but it has developed some products as well. Core banking, like, so most of the banks in India use this Finacle, Finacle product here. So, but mostly into Infosys, mostly into services. Yeah. Any more? Few more? Like Mahindra, and what next?
Capgemini.
Right. And etc. So there are a lot of other service-based companies. And can you list out some product-based companies? Yes.
Adobe.
Yeah. Microsoft.
SAP.
Yes.
Microsoft, Oracle.
SAP Labs. Oracle. Yeah.
Google.
Yes. Google, JP Morgan, right? Actually, it's BA Continuum and Wells Fargo. right? Salesforce, right? How can I forget this? Salesforce, I know one guy, one performance test engineer who got a 55 lakhs package for 10 years experience in Salesforce, right? Salesforce offered him 55 lakhs package for 10 years experience. Performance engineering, all right? Got it? So you can just imagine how what are the career prospects of performance testing from this single thing, right? So of course this is maybe he's an exceptional guy, but I'll explain you what are the average packages. We'll take only average packages, okay? We'll not take extreme cases like this. Maybe he's super talented, right? So Salesforce and ServiceNow, these are the few product based companies, guys, right? And now let me explain what is the average package in product based company and service based companies, right? So the average packages will be something like this: number of years experience. Previously it used to be number of years into 2 lakhs. Okay, number of years into 2 lakhs. However, from the past 1 year, it went up like this. People are getting number of years into 3 lakhs also. I'll name it as 2 to 3 lakhs. Clear, guys? This is the average package that is possible in performance testing, right? Across all locations, guys, by the way. Okay. So number of years into 2 to 3 lakhs. Okay, sorry. No, let me modify it. 2 to 4 lakhs. Because one of my recent, few of my recent, previous batch students got 12.5 lakhs package for 3 years experience. For 3 years experience, she got 12.5 lakhs package, right? And for your information, her qualification is B Pharmacy. I can't disclose her name because I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel. If you, I should have mentioned this when you called me for training, right? So her qualification is B Pharmacy. She got for 3 years experience, she got 12.5 lakhs package. Okay. Got it, guys? And for product based companies, number of years experience into nowadays it is number of years experience into 3 to 5 lakhs now, right? Now it is 3 to 5 lakhs. Number of years experience into 3 to 5 lakhs means for 3 years experience, you can expect, if you go crack the interview in a product based company, you can expect 9 to 15 lakhs. 9 to 15 lakhs per annum package. There is. So these are the packages packages that you can expect in performance testing, right? And so this explains what are the career prospects and compensation. And there is huge resource shortage because of COVID, for the past 2 years. So for the past 2 years, many institutes are closed, and many people, lakhs of engineering graduates, MCA graduates, they stayed back at home due to not having laptop or not having proper internet connection, or maybe most of them are not comfortable with online training. They stayed back at home. Lakhs of engineering students, lakhs of young graduates stayed back at home, and because of that, this is possible. This has become possible. So previously, number of years experience into 3 lakhs would be the average package in product based companies, but it went up to 5 lakhs now. You got it? Number of years into 5 lakhs. Am I clear here? Previously, a 3 years experience guy after training, they used to get somewhere around 5 to 6 lakhs package before COVID. Okay, before COVID. So for 3 years, this is the package expected for 3 years experience. Okay, the expected package used to be 5 to 6 lakhs. However, after COVID, post COVID, or from I can say from 2021, right? So 3 years experience guys are getting somewhere around, my students are getting 8 to 12 lakhs, 12.5 is the highest that my students got. right? I don't know, like, there may be few more people who got more package than this also, but like my students got like 8 to 12 lakhs package for 3 years experience. Is it clear, guys? Any queries, guys? Irrespective of the qualification. So I mentioned it here, right? So irrespective of her qualifications, we got like 12.5 lakhs package for 3 years experience after the training, right? So this is about career prospects, and and so some people ask, like, will we have this? I mean, is it a temporary phenomena, or like will we have? How will be the career will be in performance testing? As far as software development is there, as far as software is there, there will be career prospect. There will be career prospects for software development as well as software testing, right? Isn't it?
Sir.
Yes. Any questions for me? Any queries? Yeah, I'm going on to the next one. So digital platforms we leverage for training. I explained just now before this, before this career prospects I explained, right? So Google Classroom that I will be using for giving assignments and online assessments, right? And what are the course contents for beginners and advanced level participants? Okay, let me move this further down. Okay, so let me cover, like, what are the scripting scenarios, placement distance, terms and conditions, placement distance. Course contents for beginners and advanced level participants. Let me quickly show you that. Right. So these are the course contents for beginners and beginners or freshers in performance testing. So it will be 200 hours training, right? So wherein I will be covering performance testing basics for the first 5 to 10 hours, 10 to 15 hours. And I'll be covering developer tools, Fiddler, LoadRunner Professional 2021 with web services and API testing. And for JMeter, as part of JMeter training, like those who join only for JMeter, I will be covering performance testing basics, developer tools, Fiddler, JMeter 5.4. This will come around 60 hours, 60 plus hours, right? Those who join only for JMeter base, right? And apart from this, I will be covering like monitoring with open source tools and analysis, Java concepts, some basic performance engineering concepts, and basic SQL queries and SQL tools like Toad, dbeaver, DB Visualizer. And also I'll be covering Git and GitHub, right? So basically we'll be using GitHub for, like as a central repository for our scripts, right? So GitHub is the popular tool used by most of the companies. So that's why, like, once you are, like halfway into the training, you have to upload your script to GitHub so that you will get expertise on GitHub also, right? And Dynatrace APM is optional. This comes around like 20 to 25 hours. All right. So these are the course contents for beginners or freshers in performance testing, right? Or those who want to, claim like 3 to 4 years experience, these would be more than enough. All right. These would be more than enough for guys who want to, put some, 4 years up to 4 years experience, 3 to 4 years experience. And these are advanced concepts for those who are already working in performance testing. This will come around 60 to 80 hours, wherein I will be covering like JMeter integration with InfluxDB, Grafana, and ELK stack, LoadRunner Enterprise, right? And Java concepts, Java GC concepts in detail, using Linux commands, Git, GitHub, CI/CD with Jenkins, Docker, Kubernetes microservices, monitoring and analysis with open source tools, Splunk with dashboard queries, Dynatrace or AppDynamics. I will be covering Dynatrace. I have a separate trainer for AppDynamics. I don't have any experience till now on AppD. So I have a separate trainer for AppD. So, and I will be covering AWS report analysis, thread dump and heap dump analysis, and performance engineering with real-time use cases. So these are the course contents for beginners and those who are already working in performance testing, those who are already good in LoadRunner, JMeter, and all these tools. So these are the course contents for them, right? This will be coming around 60 to 80 hours. All right. So the next agenda for today is, right, what are the scripting scenarios to cover in the training? What scripting scenarios I will be covering in the training? Let me quickly show you that, this is I already have a established approach for this. So these are the different applications that I will be covering in scripting, guys, right? So I will start with, WebTools is only one of the sample applications that I use. So with WebTools, I will be covering 5 scripts like this. I think 6 scripts. Yeah. User registration, login. So you have around 6 scripts for this. And next, this is an online application where I will be covering three scripts for this Blaze demo. And Konakat is another online application, or you can set up on your machine also. I'll make you download and install MySQL and Konakat setup on your machine, so that you can do server-side monitoring also. You can do a test execution also. Test execution and monitoring and analysis also on this application. And apart from the JPEG Store, Advantage Online Shopping, Orange HRM, My Store, right? So these are the other demo applications from here to here. All these are demo applications, sample applications. And apart from these sample applications, I told you, right, I'll be covering 2 to 4 real-time applications, right? So this is one real-time application, Amazon and Udemy. So we'll be doing scripting on these real-time applications, guys. Okay, on both of these real-time applications, right? So this is part of the training. So as part of placement assistance, I will be giving you some other real-time applications where you will be having, where you can do scripting and test executions also, right? Test executions, monitoring also, you can do that on those applications. So apart from this, like there are two, challenging applications which will be given for scripting tests, right? So the MyLoad is one application, MyLoad test is one application. However, this is not available from around 6 months. This particular URL is not available. This particular page is not available, right? So, however, this is available. This flood.io is available. So here, every script will be a different, you will have a different challenge in each script, right? So we'll be covering this at the end of the training, right? And if you click on this, like, you will go to the corresponding steps, right? So from the index page, like, you can click on any of these applications, any of these links, and go to that corresponding page. So you will have detailed steps for each and every application, each and every script. So these are the scripting scenarios that I am going to cover as part of the training. All right. So we'll be spending like 25 days more, 20 to 25 days on scripting. With both JMeter, 25 days for LoadRunner and 25 days for scripting on JMeter. Right? Any queries, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Now let me explain what is performance testing. Right? What is performance testing? What are the different types of performance testing? So performance testing means, how many of you have an idea of performance testing? Except I know, Saurabhi, you are already working on performance testing. Sorry, you are already working on performance testing. So can others explain, like, what do you know about performance testing? If you know something. Yes, how many of you know what is performance testing? What is your idea about performance testing? Yes, please.
Yeah, the testing is to conduct to determine the responsive time and stability of the application and the scalability of the application under the workload.
Right. So performance testing means, we have multiple types of applications, right? Web applications or mobile applications or desktop applications, right? So performance testing is a non-functional testing, right? Non-functional testing. So I hope, what is functional testing? First, let's understand what is functional testing, right? With some example, guys. Let me take some examples. Suppose you type gmail.com, right? Everyone use Gmail every day, right? On a daily basis, you will be using, right? Suppose you type gmail.com, right? So you get this page, right? So here you have to enter either your email ID or phone. You need to enter your email ID or phone here, right? Let me select my email ID, right? And click on next. So if this is a valid email address, the application should prompt me for the password, to enter password. Yes or no? If it is a valid email address, it should ask me for a password. Otherwise, if it is not if you don't enter some valid email address, you enter some junk characters like this and click next, right? So it should display an error message like this, isn't it? Your Gmail will display an error message like this: enter a valid email address or phone number, right? So this is the functionality of the application. If you enter a valid email address, is it clear, guys? I'm explaining what is functional testing, guys, by the way. What is functional testing? Then I will I'll explain what is non-functional testing or what is performance testing. Yes, is it clear?
Yes, Kishore.
So functional testing. So functional testing is testing the functionality of an application. Right? See, when I say an application, it can be a web application or mobile application or a desktop application or a mobile app, right? It can be anything. It can be any application, right? So for its functionality, testing functionality of an application, this is called as functional testing, right? So you understood what is meant by functionality, right? I hope you got an idea, basic idea what is functional testing. So if you enter some, valid email address, it will, and click next, right? So it should ask you for password. And did you observe here, at gmail.com is not mandatory. You can just enter your, this pattern, isn't it? Your user ID, your Gmail user, username would be enough. At gmail.com is optional. So you, without entering that at gmail.com also, it will allow you to enter your password, isn't it? So once you enter your password and click next, right? So I have enabled two-factor authentication. I'll get a notification on my mobile. Right? So once you authenticate, once you complete this authentication, two-factor authentication, right? So it will allow you to log in into your mailbox, isn't it? So this is the functionality of the application. If you test this functionality, right? So if you give some input, whether you are getting expected output or not, right? That is functional testing. Whereas coming to non-functional testing or performance testing, right? So is this clear, guys, everyone? So you should see your inbox once you enter valid credentials and do the two-factor authentication if it is enabled, right? You'll get the two-factor authentication only if you enabled it, guys, by the way, right? So you should log into, Gmail should allow you to log into your mailbox, right? And let me give one more example. Suppose you want to send a mail and click on this compose button. You should get a window like this with two fields, CC, BCC, subject, and signature. I kept some signature, that's why you are seeing the signature, right? So you should see a blank window like this, right? So this is testing the functionality of the application. And that is functional testing, whatever, testing functionality of an application, right? Now coming to this non-functional testing or performance testing. Let's understand what is non-functional testing, or this is also called as performance testing. So this is testing any web application or desktop application or mobile application, right? For the performance of the application, right? Testing performance of an application or to determine what is the response time, to determine response times. When I say response times, what do you mean by response time? Let me give one simple example, okay? Suppose you type apple.com, right? So, and you click enter, right? So it is taking some time to load this page, right? It took some 1 second approximately to load this page. So this is the response time. 1 second is the response time of this page, this particular page. Clear, guys? Yes, is it clear? Suppose you type amazon.in. So it took some, less than a second to load this page. So this is the response time of the page. Is it clear, guys? How much time it is taking to load the page, to get the, browser is taking to get the response from the server? How much time it's taking? This Amazon is taking to load the home page, right? That is the response time of this Amazon home page, right? And suppose you may search here for some product, right? To perform that search and show you the results, it took around 1 second. So this is the response time of this search step, right? Search a product. For searching a product, it's taking around a second, isn't it? So this is the response time of this search functionality. Clear, guys? Right now, so to determine, so we do performance testing for an application to find out response times, right? And how stable is the application, stability of an application, and so on. Stability and reliability of applications, right? Speed, stability, let me put it in this way. Speed, when I say speed, it's related to response times. Speed, stability, scalability, and reliability. Scalability means how scalable is the application. Means let's assume that let's assume that Amazon.in website is currently used by 10 lakh users per day. Let's assume that that our current user load is 10 lakh users, and so tomorrow, like during festival season, or during festivals, or you will have some sale, right? So Christmas sale or New Year sale, and Diwali sale, and so on. Let's assume that there will be some 15 lakh users per day. So if the application is scalable or not, can the application handle that, that excess load, additional load or not? That is scalability. And how reliable is the application? How reliable is the application means once it goes into production, how reliable the application will be, right? And how stable the application will be. So to determine this, we do performance testing to determine these 4 main factors, which are speed, stability, scalability, and reliability of an application. So we do this something called performance testing, non-functional testing, or it is also called as performance testing. Is it clear, guys? And suppose, how do you do this testing actually? So we will develop scripts for each application. Suppose you want to test any application. So you'll first identify what are the critical business flows of that application. What are the critical business flows of the application? Okay. Let me quickly explain what do I mean by this critical business flow of an application. Let me quickly explain this. Okay. So for instance, everyone use Amazon, right? Most of you might have used Amazon or Flipkart, right? Guys, please respond.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So yeah. So can you list out, what do you do with these e-commerce applications? What do you generally use for these e-commerce applications for?
For product buying and product carting.
Okay. So if you want to use, first of all, you will register yourself, right? You will create an account for yourself, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next, you will. Yeah. What else? What else you do with this e-commerce applications?
Searching for a product.
Right. You search for a product. Yes.
Then place an order.
You will place an order. Before placing order, I will generally check the reviews. Right. Place an order. Yes.
Then payment. Later payment.
At
That will be part of placing the order, isn't it?
Yeah.
Next. You will track orders, right? Once in a while, you may cancel some already placed orders, right? Cancel order. What else? What else, guys? Okay. So these are the critical business flows for this application. Means whoever is using Amazon or Flipkart, they generally, most of the users do these activities, right? Perform these business flows, business transactions, right? User registration, search product, check reviews, place an order, and by making payment, track orders, cancel orders, right? And suppose let's take some net banking application. All of you should be having a net banking application, right? Yes or no?
yes, sir.
So can you list out what are the what would be the critical business flows for net banking application?
User ID and password.
Right. User registration. Next.
Password.
When you say user registration, you will create a password at that step only, right?
Bank details, sir.
Huh?
Account summary.
Account details.
Account details. Right. Login and check balance. Shall I put it in this way? Login and check balance. Yes.
Okay.
Or account summary. Right. You may check
Account
for the past 10 transactions or the past 5 transactions, whatever it is. Some applications show you past 5 transactions. Some applications show you for past 10 transactions under account summary, isn't it? What next?
Checkbook
Transfer
request.
money.
First, let us list out some important business flows which you do regularly.
My
Transfer money.
Transfer money.
Funds transfer, right? Fund
Funds
transfer. Yes. Next. To do fund transfer, you have to add beneficiary, right? Most of the
And the
times you will add
recipient's
beneficiary.
name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, add beneficiary, right? Next, modify beneficiary, right?
Yeah.
And so on, right? Beneficiary, maintaining beneficiaries list, right? What next? Add beneficiary, modify beneficiary, and what next? Payments, utility bill payments, yes or no?
Yes.
Credit card payments, right? If you have any loans, you will do loan payment, right? What else? What else you normally do, guys? You're missing one important thing.
Fees.
What is that?
Paying fees.
Okay. So that comes under fund transfer, of course, right? And account statement. You may be downloading the account statement, right? Once in a while,
Yes, sir.
isn't it? To use as address proof or to verify the account transactions and all, right? Account statement. What else? So these are, of course, these are the critical business flows. These are the important business flows, but that most of the people do. Apart from this, you may modify your profile, right? That is your Aadhaar card, your UID or Aadhaar card, or your address and your email ID, isn't it? So you may modify your profile. So, but this is very like less frequently used, yes or no? But these are the critical business flows of the application. These are the important business flows of the application. So what we do in performance testing is we will develop one script for user registration, one script for login and check balance. Suppose you want to test a net banking application, right? You want to test a net banking application, right? You are doing performance testing for a net banking application, right? So what you have to do is like you'll create one script for each of these critical business flows, right? We'll pick the important business flows of the application and we will develop one script. We will not write any code from scratch. We need not write any code from scratch. That is the beauty of performance testing. At the same time, you will have packages equal to developers. That is the beauty of performance testing. So you won't write much code, but you will be having package equal to developers, equal to and or sometimes like more package than developers also. Some organizations offer like more package for performance testing. It's because it's performance testing team who has to decide whether a code written by developer should go into production or not. Please note this point, right? Developer has developed some code, but he cannot push it to production directly. It should be tested. It should be tested for functionality. Functional testing should be completed. There are a lot of different types of testing, like in unit testing, functional testing, integration testing, and all this, user acceptance testing, and performance testing. So it is the testing team who has to decide whether that code should go into production or not. Clear case? That is the reason, like more few companies pay more to test engineers than developers. Even more than developers. Clear case? So testing team has to certify whether that build or that code should go into can go into production or not. Is it clear, guys? Guys, please be interactive. Please respond.
Yes, sir. It's
Yes,
Yes,
clear.
sir.
sir.
Clear, guys? So we will be developing script for so you understood, right? Why performance testing units are even not only performance testing units, by the way, automation testing units also will be paid more or less equal to developers. Okay, so equal or sometimes more than the developers also. You got it? Automation testing units also, guys, by the way, right? So because this is the importance, like it's a testing team. It's the testing team. Actually, performance testing team should certify any application, give a go or no go for a build to go into production or not, right? Of course, like however, like some companies in some organizations, like automation team or functional testing team will give that, of course, right? So, but like the code written by developers, should be tested, and then only testing team should certify whether that build should go into, that code should go into production or not, should go into live environment or not. So as part of performance testing, what do we do, guys? We will develop one script for each of the critical business flow, and we will execute those scripts with virtual users, not with real users. You'll see how to simulate as virtual user and all. We'll see that in the training, right? So at a high level, this is how we do performance testing. We will develop one script for each of the critical business flow. Understood, right? We develop one script for user registration, one script for login and check balance, one script for account summary, one script for fund transfer. If you are testing a net banking application, by the way, right? If you are testing a travel application, right? So can you list out some, what are the critical business flows for travel application now, based on these two examples, or based on your real time, your real experience? Let's take some travel applications like redbus.in, right? Or irctc.co.in. Can you list out some critical business flows, guys? Yes, it's already 1 o'clock.
Login.
I close in 5 minutes. Yeah. Again, user registration, right? If you want to use any application, you have to register yourself, yes or no? You have to create if you want to book a ticket, at least you have to register yourself, right? User registration.
Yes.
Then
From place to destination.
right, search availability. Can I name it as search availability?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Date of going.
Date of travel.
Tickets.
That comes under search availability. You search for tickets available on a particular date between source and destination, and book ticket, right? Next,
Payment.
payment is part of booking ticket, right?
Tracking the bus.
Yeah.
Tracking.
Cancellation.
Hmm?
Cancellation.
Right, cancel ticket, right? So these are the critical business flows, right? So nowadays, like these travel applications provide booking, hotel room booking also, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes or no? You
Yeah,
can
yeah,
book,
yeah.
Yes.
book a hotel room also. Nowadays, almost all the travel applications provide this one, right? And flight ticket booking also, right? They are offering flight ticket booking also, isn't it? So these are the critical business flows for any travel application. Now, if you are testing a travel application like this, so you will develop one script for user registration, one script for search availability of the tickets, one script for book ticket, one script for hotel room booking, one script for track bus, one script for cancel ticket, and you will use these scripts for testing for doing performance testing for this application, right? And like what are the types of performance testing? I will explain it in some other session, guys. Okay, it will take some time. These are the different types of performance testing. Let me quickly show you. So these are the different types of performance testing. I'll explain it in some other session, right? As we are running out of time, I will try to close it in the next 5 minutes, guys. And in the next session, I'll show you how to create a script for user registration, and how, with both Loader and JMeter, I'll show you how to enhance the script, how to do the script enhancements as well. In placement assistance, I already explained. And terms and conditions are, so you have to you should have a laptop and good internet connection, right? So please don't rely on mobile data. Don't rely on your mobile data connection. Please either you should be having Wi-Fi or a dongle, right? Mobile data is not reliable, and check your internet connection quality with this speedtest.net. Otherwise it will be if you are facing issues in connecting and all, if you are reconnecting and if you are interrupting, it will be a problem for everyone. So please make sure that you have a good internet connection. I'll tell you how to check the internet connection speed quality of internet connection. So you can use this speedtest.net. This is one of the best website for testing that, right? And if you once you click on go, right, it will, this is important, guys, by the way. So this ping time is important. Ping time is nothing but your reaction time. Means this ping time should be in single digit. Ideally, this should be in single digit. They should be as small value, as small as possible. Here, guys. Upload and download speed, that is fine if you have 20 Mbps or connection also, that's fine. 10 to 20 Mbps also should be fine. At the same time, this ping time is important. And it should be in single digit or double digit max. If it is in triple digit, please don't, please arrange some other alternative. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is one, first and foremost terms and condition. You should have a laptop and a good internet connection. And whenever I ask, you should turn on your video, right? If I feel that you are not focusing on the session, I may ask you to turn on your video. So you should be ready to turn on your video, guys, right? Those are the terms and conditions. And like you should not share this training material, whatever I'm sharing to you, it's for your personal use only. So please don't share to your friends and relatives, or please don't do that, right? It's for
Okay,
your
sir.
personal use only. All right. So these are the terms and conditions of the training, and you should do every one of the participant, each one of the participant should mandatorily do the scripting and share the script to me for review. Clear, guys? So I think I covered all the topics which I mentioned in the agenda, right? Any queries now? So I'll take a pause here and I will address any queries you may be having. Yeah, coming to course duration. Sorry, I didn't cover this course duration. So each session duration will be 1.5 hours, right? And I explained the breakup of that 1.5 hour session, how it is going to be here, right? That we'll be spending that 1.5 hour in this way, and minimum 1.5 hour, right? And sometimes it may go up to 1 hour 45 minutes or 2 hours based on the requirement. So if I'm middle of some concept, I cannot stop it abruptly, isn't it? So, and one more thing is the duration will be as I mentioned here somewhere. So for load runner, it will be like around 80 hours, and JMeter it will be like 60 or 60 plus hours, right? And the total duration will be 200 hours. Those who want to join both load runner, JMeter and all these concepts, it will take around 200 hours, excluding Dynatrace. This itself will take 200 hours. All right. So, how can you say that is I maintain a tracker for each batch like this. You can see here, this is my September batch tracker. So I will maintain a tracker for every batch like this, right? So here you can see I gave some demo sessions for the first 10 sessions or so. And then what concepts I cover on each day and who all are participated in the sessions, I'll be maintaining a tracker like this. And here you can see this batch is still running. The September batch is still running. It will be completed. JMeter will be completed by this month end in that batch. You can see here the total duration, spent is like 92.5 hours till now. You got it? So on this basis, I came up to these numbers. I came to these numbers. Clear, guys? This 200 hours and 60 to 80 hours, that is derived based on those tracking, based on those trackers. And one more thing, I will track, I will be reviewing each of your script. For example, you can see here Web2 scripts rating. So I'll review each of the students. I did not update this, of course. A few things you see empty, right? So I didn't update a few of them. However, I'll be doing like this. I'll be sharing review comments, right? I'll verify the script and I'll share the review comments to your email, as well as I will maintaining a tracker for myself and I will be giving rating like this. So that if there is some, I provide placement assistance, right? Whenever there are some referral openings, I will be referring them first. Those who got 3 and more rating, I will refer them first. Of course, I will provide to everyone, but I will give first preference to these guys. You got it? Those who got 3 and above rating. And also this will help me to, track the progress also. This is my first application. Second application is JPEG Store. I will see whether, there is any improvement in rating or not, right? In this way. For each application, I will be reviewing all the scripts, guys. Clear, guys?
Yes.
So you can see here I covered SQL queries, transaction, what is commit, what is rollback. I covered here Fiddler, right? And these are the different concepts that are already covered, right? DEP, important load runner functions, JMeter introduction. Here I started JMeter on 1st November in the current batch, that September morning batch. This is early morning batch. Here you can see the timing 7:30 to 9. Sometimes I take from, I mean, here on that particular day, the session got delayed. I started at 8 and closed at 10. So you can see here the session time and how much duration the session is and all. You can see it over here, this, right? I'll maintain a tracker for every batch, and I will be uploading each and every session to my YouTube channel, and I will be sharing to my students for, like future reference, or, if they want to go through that recording again. So I'll be giving access to only my students, those who confirm joining and paid fee. I'll be sharing that recorded sessions to my students. Demo sessions are uploaded as public videos. However, the actual core concepts that will be uploaded as private videos, and I'll be giving access to my students. Clear, guys?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So any queries, I'll, we'll spend 5 minutes. If you have any queries, we can discuss and close the session for today. If you want, I'll pass the recording, guys, if you want it. Yeah. So please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to it. And if you want to, if you want to reach my channel anytime, you can go to youtube.com and search for performance testing real-time training, right? So this is for recording purposes. Search for performance testing real-time training, and here you can see my name and my channel. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.